Hey everybody, it's Bevin, and I'm here on the Lesbian Tea Basket, my web series where I rate and review teas and reclaim tea parties for lesbians. And I'm here with international femme superstar Bird LaBird.
Hi.
Who's all the way here from London, which is super exciting. Just to give you a little background about who we're having tea with today, Bird is a femme performance artist, and she runs the Bird Club in London. Is that a monthly show?
It's not on anything at the moment. We're venueless. But I've been running the Bird Club for a couple of years, but when we get a venue back, it's not monthly because I nearly died when it was monthly.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here on a rooftop in Williamsburg, in Brooklyn where I live. And Bird is staying in this amazing artist studio, and it has this random roof deck, and it's quite lovely up here. And so we were meant to go to the beach today to Fire Island, and there were crazy thunderstorms this morning, so that all got canceled. But now it ended up being beautiful. So I brought what I was going to film on the beach to the roof deck. So I have packed it in this lovely water bottle that I bought from my friend Mackenzie's store. It's pink and it has a little diamond in it.
Nice.
Classy.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I made some iced tea, because it's that kind of weather. It's Memorial Day here in New York City. And so I've decided to just do the presentation. If I were a fancy gay, I probably would have done a garnish, but, you know, I need other people to be fancy for me. So,
Wow.
you know, so it's just, it's iced tea in a cocktail glass. It's pretty simple. So, cheers.
Cheers, Bevin.
We're going to try this.
Cheers, everyone.
That's quite lovely.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very citrusy and sweet without being, like, obnoxiously sweet.
It's subtle, that one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm quite new to this whole iced tea thing because we don't really drink it at home.
Which I find shocking in England that you don't drink iced tea because you guys drink tea all the time. What about when it gets hot?
It doesn't get hot.
It doesn't get hot. Oh, well, there you go.
That's the thing. It gets hot for about 2 days over the year. No, we never do this. It's lovely. It's dead sophisticated.
Yeah, I mean, typically Americans don't drink iced tea out of a martini glass. That's just a Bevin thing.
But we do though.
Mm.
I can't think of anything better to drink out of a martini glass. Actually,
exactly. We're high femme. That's what happens.
I'm gonna take up this habit when I get home.
Oh, do it.
Like it.
I like it too. I love how it tastes. So the tea that we're trying today it's a new tea from the Whole Foods. This one caught my eye immediately because it's hot pink, which matches my nails, and I'm really a sucker for anything that just matches, you know? And Bird's nails too. Actually, your red really matches the red.
That's good, that.
Wow, and it matches my nails. That's quite coordinated. And I knew to the beach today I have a big hot pink sun hat that I just got for this year's beach season. So I was like, oh, the tea will match my hat, and it'll be really femme, and then didn't go to the beach. But, so the tea, I'm a little skeptical about this tea because it's called Get Gorgeous. And I figured if it's a tea based about beauty, then we as femmes could probably put a critical eye to it.
Well, we don't need it because we already are gorgeous.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. But, you know, being gorgeous does require some work. I mean, beauty, my friend Rachel likes to say there's no such thing as natural beauty. Because, you know, beauty comes from within. It's something you cultivate in yourself. It's about, like, your sort of physical, emotional, mental well-being. But also it's about taking care of your skin and, you know, using moisturizer and all the other, you know, various hair dyes that we do.
Hair dye?
There's no hair dye between us. Not at all. It's all natural. Okay, so then, but what I liked about the Get Gorgeous was it said, it's actually herb tea for clear skin. And it says, let's get one thing clear, true beauty comes from within. So it's like the first thing it says is that, you know, it's acknowledging true beauty comes from within. But then it talks about how this is a rooibos tea, it's caffeine free, and it's got lots of antioxidants because those fight free radicals, and apparently those are bad for your skin. So I'm all about doing whatever I can to dip into this queer pool of magical anti-aging. Have you ever noticed that queers are really hard to tell, like, what age they are?
Yeah. Did you know that Jack Halberstam calls that queer temporality? temporality.
That's a thing. Queer temporality?
Queer temporality.
Wow.
That's like the queer time is different than heteronormative time.
Wow. That's Williams for relentless.
I hope that's the butcher's coming in to take us out to the restaurant that we're going to go to later.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, queer
Butch is in a helicopter just cruising Williamsburg looking for a couple of M's on a roof deck. That sounds like the plot of a movie.
This is America, isn't it?
It's true.
Anything could happen.
The streets are paved with cheese.
The streets are paved with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so queer temporality is the time. Queer time is marked differently because we don't have the same events that mark the passage of time. So it's just basically a posh word for what you just said.
Yeah, that we don't age real fast.
Yeah, and you can get a great big hook out of that if you spin it out long enough.
I feel like Jack Halberstam goes to cocktail parties and overhears conversations and then is like, that's my next book.
Yeah, I'll just add a few long words.
Here's my long word.
And then, it's quite a good book though, that one. I like it. Yeah.
I'll check that out after I read many, many books on my shelf. Right now I'm reading Persistence, all Ways Butch and Femme, which I'm excited about, which also matches this tea thing because it's hot pink. It's the first anthology I've been published in. I'm excited.
Well done, Gail.
And to be a hot pink book. I mean, I wish I could have put that in my contract. I will only submit to this anthology if it is hot pink. The next one, I'll definitely ask for teal, because that would be the second in my signature colors. Ooh, my first book, though, the one that's all Bevin Branlandingham, is going to be a glitter cover.
You're kind of like a femme opera, really, aren't you?
Yeah, that's my thing. It really is.
I'm trying to see what this is going to be like if I come back in like a couple of years' time.
I know. I hope it's bigger. I hope somebody else ends up recording this and it's not just on my laptop. You know. You do what you can. You're self-made. Do it yourself. So, Bird, tell me about what it was like for you to come out as femme.
Wow. Well, it was quite a long time ago now, in the early 90s, and I was quite I was quite roughy-tufty girly when I was a kid. I've got a really strong memory because I was brought up in a very strict Catholic family, and really surprisingly, my mum let me go to a fancy dress competition dressed as a Playboy Bunny.
Wow. Strict Catholic Playboy Bunny.
It's just like, and there's these photos of me when I won as well, of course.
Oh,
and there's these pictures of me kind of like holding a tray with some bunny ears and big high heels on and stuff.
How old were you?
About like 8 or something like that.
8 years old, Playboy Bunny. Award-winning Playboy Bunny.
Award-winning, strict Catholic
Playboy
Bunny. That left a mark on me, for sure. And then when I got a bit older as a teenager, I was like a Susie Sue, looky-likey. I went through a long phase of that, really, and still like my inner core has got a big goth punk aesthetic to it. And I came out when I was 19, and I extremely foolishly tried to look like a lesbian. And
as we do.
As it was one of the most stupid things I've ever done in my whole life. I mean, some girls, when they, do the dyke look, they look so jaw-droppingly gorgeous. I look like a bag of spanners. You know what I mean? It's dreadful.
Just a big bag of some tools.
A hot mess.
A hot mess. That I understand. That's a universal term.
No, the bag of spanners is a universal term. It's just you need to get used to the Scouse universe.
Got it.
So I spent quite a while doing that really, and I was extremely unhappy during that period in my life. And then I went down to. It's quite a long, convoluted tale. Is that all right? It's
Sure.
not quite a good. It's quite the good. The crescendo is quite good though. So stick with me. I went down to London, and I met a road protester called Pob, because at the time in the mid-90s, the big political thing in Britain was the road protesters, and they'd go and like build these structures to try and stop motorways being built and stuff. And I met this really hot, punky chick. And we went. We were fucking in a heterosexual lady's friend's room, and there was a really nice black dress there. And she said, "Put that on, babe." And I did, and I just. It was like, yeah, like 10 multiple orgasms later, I realised I was home, and then I never really took the dress off again.
I love that story. It's like the femme got fucked into you.
Yeah, the femme definitely got. Yeah.
Or fucked out of you. I don't know. I feel like it was always in there.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking story that got you there.
Out,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I was. Yeah, that was really amazing actually, and I mean it kind of, I clung on to it then, and a lot of things fell into place, and then just after I started discovering Butch Femme, and I was a very late developer sexuality-wise, because I never lived anywhere where you could really experiment with your sexuality. In Liverpool, as a dyke, it didn't do me. If there was an experimental scene, Bevin, I couldn't find it, and so yeah, it took me a long time, because really geography always got in my way. Really, I moved to Manchester, and I was like a dyke in a tea shop, basically, going through the shelves, going, oh, which one shall I have? And yeah, I just went into a phase of really fantastic sexual awakening and activity, and I mean it was really then that Femme just came out instantly, really.
Love it. It's like your slut period.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, Bird, I was also a late bloomer. So here's to late bloomers.
Here's to late bloomers.
Here's to this amazing Get Gorgeous tea, which you don't need to get gorgeous, but it's really tasty, so why not? Because it's really pretty. So I'm going to give it 5 labri, my highest rating.
Yeah, you know what? If I'd go 5.5 actually. I think this is stunning.
Even higher than the
top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is really, really, really good, and yeah, I think if you put a lime in it, it goes to a 10. Really good. You could drink this for any occasion, really, and I feel quite heartened by it. And also, it's quite glamorous as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's so refreshing. Like, I'm really skeptical about herbal iced teas, but I have to say this is quite refreshing, very tasty. It was easy to make. I just did it last night. I put it in the fridge, and then poof, it's iced tea. So, Bird, thank you so much for being on the Lesbian Tea Basket.
That's all right, but should we go back to, just before we finish, because can we go back to my cup of tea?
We need to talk about your cup of tea. Okay, so before we finish, I need to tell you a story about when I showed up to Bird's studio that she's staying in. She had already brewed herself a cup of tea and had talked about how she was aching to come back to her flat so that she could brew a cuppa.
Yeah. Do you want to have a taste of this?
No, I would love to. What kind of tea is it?
This is actually, I've gone so middle class. Actually, upper middle class. It's Harrods tea bags.
Ooh, Harrods.
But
I've heard of Harrods.
I don't. It's not. It's all right, but I don't really like the soya milk I've found here. So I'm not getting the right blend of soya, but it has hit the spot. But I would only give this a 3 at the moment. The other thing is, as well as when I'm drinking tea like this at home, the mug is really, really important.
Yeah.
And I've got I I try to only drink out of porcelain china, and I like gold as well. So if anyone wants to buy me a present, that's the kind. I like cups. I like a nice cup and saucer. Anything like that. So it's lost marks on that. So it's kind of like a 3. It's not a great tea sensation, and you know, this wins hands down.
Yeah. The iced tea on the roof deck, though. I mean, that's really where it's at.
Yeah.
So cheers, everyone. Have great summer times wherever you're at, and we'll see you again soon on the Lesbian Tea Basket.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Cheers, Bevin.
Thanks, Bird.
Aww.